Man,
you can't be fucking negative, lads. Not this week, for fuck's sake.
You get back what you put in.
You do.
You
get
out what you get in there. You can't.
Smarty! Right from start.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of them, innit? It is Friday. It's a bank holiday.
It's almost watershed as well. It's 10 minutes till 9 o'clock. So we'll let you off with that one, Smart. Yes, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our actual... Is it our penultimate one of the season? I suppose it is. We're going to do a wrap-up at the end of the season.
We're going to have to talk about it once it's happened, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're going to have to do a B&C.
And we've still got that special guest to come on at the end of the season that we're not allowed to tell anyone about.
Oh yeah. Shit, yeah. Hopefully it's with happy thought. Yeah,
with lots of positivity. So yeah, welcome everybody to I don't have a clue. Oh, it tells me at the top here, season 4, episode 4, where we are going to have a little bit 40 episode, season 4, episode 40, where we are going to have a bit of a chat about all things Wembley, everything leading up to Wembley, how we're all feeling, and then the normal OKB shite that we usually natter. So yeah, we'll run a bit of an intro, and we'll have a bit of an intro, and we'll see how we're all there.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and then you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
You look like fucking Brolin, you're a Leeds eating bastard.
Look like some sort of fucking weird floating head. No.
He's a utensil player a bit, innit?
I mean, I feel a bit right, dickhead.
Nothing spectacular, really.
Good evening, everybody. And yes, I think I'm going to have to introduce the spectacular to start with. Gilly, how are we doing? And how is your moustache? Can you come a little bit closer to the camera, or are you not actually allowed? Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. So, those of you who do watch regularly will know that we did say if we got automatically promoted, we would all don a Connor Roberts tash for the last game of the season at home to Southampton. Now, that clearly didn't happen, but because we're such a group of fun buckets, we decided that we're going to be really wild and a bit edgy and shave him in for the final against Southampton down at Wembley. Now, those who know or have met Karl will know that if a cat licks his face, then his moustache and beard would come off. So we're very forward to seeing that. Gilly's gone in a bit early. I'm hoping you're going to trim it up though Sunday morning or Saturday night.
You know what? I had to rush, and I didn't want to take off too much, so there'll be a bit more comes off. But I didn't want to make a mistake.
No, I meant you're going to clean shave everywhere else, aren't you, as well? So you're not going to let the growth because if I shaved it in now, I would
I'd have a beard by Sunday. So it'll have to be done again.
Yeah. So, looking fantastic, mate, by the way. I must add, thank you ever so much for being such a great spirit. And anyone who does bump into us in London, we're not a bunch of nonsense. We're just a bunch of people who like to have fun. Apart from Smarty.
That's very important.
Yes.
And he might do, he might surprise us. We'll see.
He looks like he's been fabricating a wall in Mexico. Mexico/Texas. This guy.
Gringo.
Get back on the bus. You're not coming in.
Evening, Dan. Yeah, those who've seen, I've just been on with Danny and done their Not Another Leeds podcast. Thanks for having me on. But he said that Gilly looks like he runs a Caribbean branch of the Leeds shop.
He's like the dude from I can't remember the name of the film. It's not worth it.
Trinidad and Tobago's Leeds.
No,
you can do it. He's a guy from Waterboy. Get this fucking head off.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where your man is the surf instructor. Just bumming it out on the beach.
Oh, he's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is it where?
Cheers,
Paul
all.
Rudd.
Does it? Yeah,
Cheers,
yeah, that's right.
Cheers. Not having too many of them, Gilly.
I haven't got any beers. I haven't got anything.
I've got my Leeds glass.
Got myself a nice cup of tea here. There it is.
I haven't got anything to drink, so that could be an issue coming on later. How are we, Smarty? Anyway,
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
I am cue ball as well.
Have you prepped your Mac 3 or whatever utensils you'll be using?
I'm gonna go all out. I'm actually gonna go to the barbers and get one shaved. I was saying before we came on air. So, you know when you have hair and you're a bit younger and you go in and you want to look a bit.
Do you remember that far back?
I do. It's a long way back. That far back. I'm now coming from my anus.
Oh my god!
Yes.
So anyway, let me get to the
That
point.
doesn't mean to go on.
Let me get to the point.
Don't,
I'm going to
please.
walk into the barber's and I'm going to have a picture and I'm going to say, "Can I have it like this?" And he's obviously going to think I'm in my hair and he's going to laugh his tits off. But I'm going to show him a picture of Conor Robertson's tash. So I'm going to get it all shaved. I'm going to pay for it doing basically professionally. So if it looks bad, it's even worse. Isn't
Can you get some like extensions glued on for a day or something?
it? Just walk in with some blonde
I
dreadlocks.
dare you to wear a toupee. I dare you to wear a toupee. You know, get one of them like prick stick ones on when they flop it over and.
Like my
That'd be
my
When
Twitter
it gets
profile
windy, it just goes like that.
Yeah.
with a big quip.
Yeah.
I can see that we're all very excited. We're all in a very, very good mood. Karl, are you going to add to that, or are you going to be your usual glum self?
What do you mean? Am I going to be? I'm fucking waiting for this all my life, man. Never been to Wembley. Watched a load of finals where we lost, and I think I just fucking can't wait for this on Sunday now.
So you mean to tell me that you're that much of an Italian fan? You didn't storm Wembley for the final last year? Or you
no, I
Where's
was
the
going to buy
where's the
tickets.
Furby? Didn't he say if he were around, he were going to come on? Like, what's
He asked us if
Furby.
we still wanted him, and nobody replied. So
okay.
he said they'll get in comments instead.
Now you've just made me feel bad.
Furby though, that's a good one. I've not heard that before.
So, Karl,
we not
are
used
you
to
going to go to the barber's for your moustache shaved in? Are you going to do it yourself, or are you going to get the cat to lick it off?
I just like a hot towel or something and do the trick there. Now I'd be saying, but it's sure
Bit of cream on there.
Anyway.
Just put
All I have to do is shave around there, and it's done. Like that's
just
it.
put a little bit of
You know?
like dog food on around your face and just lay in the middle of the street in Armley and just wait for all little strays to come and start licking you, and then just it'll be done.
What
Bloody
do you
hell.
think I am?
Oh, Skip, we are going to come on to that. It's a bit of a. In fact, that's a good start. Let's start there. Let's start with Wembley tickets, shall we? Because
really?
this week has been absolutely fucking nuts. And look, I was. Karl asked me before we came on, "Have you been to Wembley?" And I was like, "Yeah, I went to watch us in the Donny playoff in 2008 when Wembley had just opened." But I was in the Donny end. Now, a lot of Leeds fans were that day, and I can't remember what I paid for the ticket. But it wasn't anything extortionate. So, yeah, let's start with tickets. What do you reckon before social media things were as bad? I'm surely not. I mean, I know people would pay over the odds for a ticket, but as social media created this sense of having to have everything immediately, because I was speaking to somebody on Twitter, and before this, they reduced the tracker to 5. He'd paid 400 and something quid for a seat up in the gods. So what do we make of it all? Is it scalpers? Is it peak grifters trying to make a few quid, or are they genuine Leeds fans that are just ripping each other off? What do you make of it, Smarty?
I think you've got a bit of a mix of everything, if I'm honest, haven't you? Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't really say much because I'm an entitled season ticket holder, and I got my ticket straight away. No problem, not whatsoever. In fact, I didn't even have to do it. One of my mates got it. Bryn was probably might be in the comments somewhere.
It's been a long week since Saturday having a ticket, Smarty, isn't it?
It's been a long
It's been
time.
a long week.
I would just sat, just you know, in the Welshest of Wales, just enjoying myself, having a nice breakfast while Bryn were pulling whatever hair he does have left out over and over again. It sounded like it were a right chuffing palaver, if I'm honest, and I'm glad I didn't have any part of it. But yeah, I mean, I've seen a few crazy stories. I mean, I know obviously you guys, Karl, I'm sure in virtual miles you've done absolutely loads, scouting for tickets and buying everyone this, that and the other. Gilly, I know you've had about 15 laptops on the go at the same time. I know you've had issues as well. So, like most people I know, it's been going mad, and everything I've seen on Twitter and other social media, you know, everyone's been going absolutely crazy, saying that they got to the basket and they bought them, and then it kicked them out, and then it sounded like an absolute chuffing
mess.
I'm glad. Well, like I say, I'm just glad I didn't have any part of it really. But to say that, I have seen some people, like obviously Skip's just put up there, paid £640 for what I'm guessing is probably a £50 to £60 ticket is just scandalous. I mean, the tickets are ridiculously priced anyway. I'm sure Gilly will go in on some of the people complaining about prices and all that sort of stuff. And I've got a few bits to say as well, but I'll let Gilly take that bit about season ticket holders complaining about pricing and stuff like that. I was like, oh, I'm definitely staying out of this one. That is a I'll be absolutely staying wide of that one.
Swerve that one.
But yeah, it's been absolutely mental. But at least most, a lot of people are managing to get there. So that's the most important thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the reason I mentioned social media is that's where you see the majority of people rushing about for tickets. I mean, I seen the Club Wembley. I think Jay just said, "Here, what about Club Wembley being double the price for Leeds fans?" That's supply and demand issue. That's a supply and demand issue.
Southampton?
Yeah, so the Southampton and Club Wembley were 400 quid, and ours were 800.
What?
But yeah, it's bonkers. I mean, I thought, what would I actually pay if I didn't meet the tracker requirements or didn't have a season ticket and didn't, what would I be willing to pay? And I just thought, would I be willing to pay that much? I would rather save the money and watch it in a pub and have a really good day out and still have 300 quid at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it just berserked to me how much people, and I get why people want to be there. I completely get why people want to be there. We're lucky enough to all be going. But people who haven't been that many times this season or have used other people's tickets, and there's been certain circumstances where people actually have in fact, I'll come to you for this, Gilly. What do you think about the ticket forwarding situation? So bear in mind, somebody might not have been to Ellen Road maybe a handful of times this season. Maybe they own a season ticket, but they've forwarded their ticket on to friends, family, and the friend and family might have been 15 times to a home game this season, but actually they didn't qualify, but the season ticket holder didn't. What's your? Do you think the club's got that a bit wrong?
I do, because I think the inference is that whoever they forward that onto will have paid them for the ticket. So I think there's an assumption potentially being made that the season ticket holder has not made any money from it, because otherwise they'd have passed it back to the club to sell. But if you can sell at face value to a mate and you're allowed to pass it on, surely that's what you do. So I think they've made an assumption there. I think the other side to that is, if you are a season ticket holder, they wanted to guarantee you an opportunity for a ticket. And if you forwarded too many, how would they then balance that out? And they would be making one available for a member that's been on that season ticket holder's ticket and not for a season ticket holder, or they'd be giving two. Yeah. And then you're in that position where how do they make sure they're guaranteeing the ticket? So there is some complexity to it. But for me, if you'd been to that many games and your name is against that ticket, you should have been eligible.
Or should the season ticket holder offered to that person who'd used it, who'd been forwarded it most times?
I mean, that's down to them. And I think that is the case, but that's down to individuals. And, at that point, it's on whether they feel that that's what they're going to do or not. They've put themselves in an opportunity where they can make that decision. But for me, that is slightly wrong. I think to the other point that you were making as well, I'd already resolved to spend 4 figures to get there if I needed to.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
But that would have been 2 tickets. So
yeah. Karl, what about you? I mean, I know you've got a season ticket holder, but coming from your perspective, if you were living in Ireland and couldn't get to all those games, and we've got people in the chat here, Alison, who says she's been to 6 games. If Sky hadn't changed it, she should have made the tracker, so she'd have been guaranteed. She'd been going 10 years as a season ticket holder. Do you think there needs to be more of a loyalty point system going back from since you've had a membership or a season ticket? Do you think it should have been done that way?
It's hard to say, because you're not going to please everyone no matter how you do
No.
it. Because even if you do a loyalty basis based on the amount of games that members went, like you could even see there the club tried to do it where they were like, right, you need to have been to 9+ games, which it is expensive and getting tickets is really, really hard. But there's no fair way of doing it. They tried to do it as fair as they could. I'm not saying it is the fairest way, but how else? How else are you going to do it? Like, there's absolutely no way you're going to be able to please everyone. So,
well, the only way they did do it, Karl, was they basically did the sums on how many people qualified at 9+, and they said, right, we can guarantee those a ticket. There's going to be a few thousand left over, and then we'll decide what we're doing with what's left once season tickets haven't sold or whatever.
Yeah.
But you've also got to feel for people in Alison's position, not just Alison. There's a lot of people that seem to be in similar positions that are, unfortunately, because of reasons beyond their control, where they've actually booked flights and booked tickets to, got tickets for games, and they've been moved by Sky, which unfortunately is through no fault of the clubs, it's through no fault of ours or the people looking for tickets. So I think that's what the question was with regard to to loyalty, or should there have been a bit more of a pre-sale for somebody who's had a membership for 10 years, 15 years? They must be able to work out how many. Do you know what I mean? I just think that there could have been. I think it's been worked out based on this season and this season alone. But now people's circumstances change year on year. Now, I just don't know. I don't know how I feel.
I'll put it to you like this. I'll put it to you like this, right? Say if you go on loyalty of how long you've had your membership and this and that, right? If you've only gone to 5 games and say the starting point is 10 years, you've had your membership, just for instance, and you've only gone to say 5 games in that 10 years, does that really class you as a loyalty kind of thing? Because you haven't used your ticket, it hasn't been, taken advantage of by other people. All right, yeah, you can.
Well, hello, James.
Smarty's Tourette's is kicking off again, but you couldn't. I don't think that's a way of doing it at all, because, like I said, you could be a member for 10 years and not have 5 games on your membership over the course of that 10 years, and then you're kind of getting in on loyalty basis. But have you really been loyal?
I mean, I get it. Games? And so, there's got to be a cut somewhere. And if they've been supporting the club this year, and somebody stop moving everyone around, it's fresh. I'm going dizzy.
Can't help it.
And yeah, I just feel, I don't know, maybe
it's not me.
It's not me.
Hey,
it's Smarty.
yeah,
I can tell. And yeah,
having a lovely time.
Anyway, we'll I'm sure we'll fix football. We'll fix everything. Let's talk about a little bit something else. How do we all feel right now with it being Friday night? None of us are working tomorrow, I don't think. So we've got obviously families and other stuff going on. But are you trying to keep yourself busy, Jay, or are you underneath a car, or what are you doing to stop the nerves?
Underneath a
Anything
car
else at this moment, Jay?
A micro machine.
That depends on how next conversation goes.
A fucking Hot Wheels.
I'll be under a car. To be fair, I've had a productive day. I've been working from home, but also managed to go weigh in some crap that were lying around from my projects and put a bit of spending money in Wembley pot. And I fixed the blower on the car because that had completely packed in. Because something.
All right, Jay, I didn't want your life story. I just wondered what you were doing.
Well, mate. So tomorrow I'm going to change the old oil and keep myself distracted and watch a few podcasts while I do something.
Come down like a right monkey, aren't you? Like covered in grease and that.
My hands are covered in.
Just make sure you wear your right trainers, not the ones that you do.
Oh yeah.
Fucking turning up to Wembley looking like Shadrach Dingle again.
Mate, I won't even care as long as I'm there.
One of those.
Where are we all sat then? Where are we? Where are we all sat? Carl, I'll start with you. What block are you in?
108 near Johnny Boy.
Yeah. What about you, Smarty?
I'm in 117.
117.
Me and Bryn are in 117.
Didn't ask about Bryn. Jay?
Well, that's fine.
110.
I know that you get on so well.
See,
I thought I'd just mention it.
I'm with you, Anna Gilly, up in the nosebleeds.
You're up in the clouds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about it being sunny up there, so Gilly, you're grand.
We have to wear woolly hats.
I just need to ask Arthur. I just need to ask Arthur. Do you like Brolin was fat? So are you saying I'm fatter?
Fucking hell! Is he getting some? Shit from comments?
Am I a fat version of the slim version of Brolin? Just let me know, Arthur. I'd like to know.
Arthur Bushby's calling Jay fat Brolin in the comments.
Sorry, Karl.
No, it's all right. I was just saying to Gilly, don't do any rain dances now Saturday night because you're under roof cover anyway. So
Gilly, I'd be disappointed if you don't come to Wembley with Cancun whites or something like that. That'd be. I think that's
sipping a pina colada out of a coconut.
Yeah.
I just hope it doesn't rain for the Scum game because they'll chop the pitch up if it does.
Good point.
Oh, that was a very good point.
It's modern pitch though, isn't it? It's got all that weird plastic fibre stuff in it. They're a lot.
Can you change the laws?
Oh, here's the pitch non-screwing again.
They're a lot more durable these days, aren't they?
What do we make of all this bollocks around the ground where they've been trying? There was one bar that you could watch the game and they were charging 20 quid to start with. They're now charging, I think, 60 quid a head to go in and watch the game in a bar.
Free.
Rip off Britain.
Well, that's bollocks, then, isn't it?
Oh no, you
Everyone's
don't get any
just
drinks.
like-
It's just entry.
It's
Fuck
pushing
that.
a tenner a pint for Karl.
Do they not know what all bloody... Well, most of us, I suppose, are Yorkshire folk. Honest Yorkshire folk. We're not going to be feeling that frigging bad, are we? Bollocks to that, I'm not going in there.
I tell you what.
Oh
if they
no,
start charging
someone
that,
will. Won't they?
Yeah, they will do.
It's going to end up getting smashed up. Is that place?
And it'll be their own fault.
Someone's
Yeah.
going to lose the rag at having the piss taken out of them, and it's going to kick off.
I remember going to Centre Parks and being charged £5 for a pint in there, so I took pint glass as well with me. That bastards. I'm having this shit. I'll bloody teach you. You
Bought this fucker.
I thought you were going to tell us that were your falling down moment. that were
£5.
it.
£5. You'd pay that any day for a fucking plastic glass chuffing pint now, wouldn't you, at bloody Ellen Road? Get a spade.
I loved those
Damn.
prices that were put in our WhatsApp group, and there were no saving whatsoever for buying a 2-pinter. It was just the same as
None.
buying 2 separate.
Well,
pints.
they were saving your legs, Jay, because you didn't have to queue twice.
But the staff, it's
No, it
less
meant you
labour.
Time is priceless.
You could buy 4
It's less-
easier,
less
carry 4
labour.
easier.
I've just seen. I don't know what this means, but in the comments, Danny said earlier on, and I started it. There is an undercover kit for Sunday.
Is what?
Is
that
it?
what
Is
he's
it about the
wearing?
dress up? Is that about our dress up, or is it something that Leeds have released?
I've
Go
heard
on,
nothing
comments
about that.
there again, Danny.
I think it's been confirmed that Leeds are playing in white, hasn't it?
Yep.
I think he might mean the fact that we're dressing up as Mexicans or something. Maybe I don't know. I didn't really understand it.
Did you see why Southampton couldn't wear the home kit?
Because
it wasn't-
clashes?
It wasn't just because we finished higher than them. It was also because if they did want to wear it, they'd have to wear black socks, I think it was, because of ours being white. And at the start of the season, you have to submit any possible combinations of kit that you're playing, and they didn't put that.
Ah, well, that's.
And
I didn't know that.
Told
I
you.
didn't know that were a
That's
thing.
stupid.
Little fun fact there.
There you go.
There you go.
Nice one, Jay.
Very good.
That's what I'm
I
here
hit
for.
the nail on the head.
One
So that's-
one good comment per season.
I suppose he has. At least you
There
can
it is. He's excelled himself. He's up to 2.
Every dog has his day.
It's up to 2.
Anyway, back to the nerves, Karl. How are you keeping busy? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Are you giddy? How are you feeling this evening?
I'm proper giddy, man. Honest to God, like I genuinely can't wait.
Is that true?
I don't think so.
Don't be saying shit like that, Arthur. Come on. Now.
I think they mean sat on the bench as in a staff member.
Coaching.
They'll be
Surely.
sat
That'd
with
be good.
the bench
Yeah,
players.
he should be there.
All right, okay.
Arthur Bushby's coming out with some right shit, to be honest with you.
I think he's pissed.
It's Friday. This is
Apart
what
from the-
happens, isn't it?
Apart from the fat brawling comment, which I completely agree on, Jack Harrison wants to
I
leave.
can't wait till you look like a fucking Wish Bronson on Sunday.
Water is wet. I mean, Met Cardiff boys, City boys do. I don't know. I think he's hammered, isn't he? Let's just thanks, Arthur.
Hey,
but
go on.
as long as he's
Go on,
enjoying
Arthur.
himself.
Into a
facts,
Yeah,
facts
exactly.
only.
All right.
So go on. Sorry, Karl, to interrupt.
No, yeah, I genuinely I can't wait. I've just been, I was on to Gilly there trying to get tickets for a lad there on Tuesday, and it was fucking this and that. It was they're in the basket, it's not accepting. And it was just it's that buzz. You just want to try and help as many people as you can to get there because it's going to be absolutely unreal, if I'm honest. And I'm not trying to rub it in, but I'm just very fortunate that I got a ticket, and I'm fuck it, I can't wait, man. Honest to God, it's going to be unreal.
I just can't
Honestly,
wait to get down there. I'm
anytime-
even
You've had your
looking forward to the long drive. You can fuck off, you. I didn't come here to be insulted, but I did because I know what I'll get.
Gilly, what about yourself, mate? Are you over the moon? Are you nervous? Is anybody nervous? I suppose is a good question.
I think the nerves are just starting. I've been keeping myself busy. I went for a run tonight. I ran for over an hour because I had some nervous energy to use.
How many times did you say "fuck Smarty"? Fuck Smarty.
Oh, regular.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I get quite a lot of voice notes.
But it's
You
been a busy
bastard.
week at work anyway. And so since getting the ticket, I actually loaded onto my phone, and then I know, right, I definitely, even though they'd said, right, guaranteed, and I've been to every game. So I'm like, right, fine, every home game. So I'm like, right, fine, well, that's me sorted. Even though that's happened. it's not until you get the ticket that you think, right, it's happening. I think I'm still slightly pinching myself that we're even going.
Yeah.
Even after everything that's happened and all the talk and all the videos and everything else, it's still a little bit surreal that we're going to be at Wembley this weekend. It's just a bit strange.
We all said this would be the best way to go up, didn't we? We all said
we did. And we said we'd take it if you're guaranteed as promotion via
the uncertainty kills you, doesn't it? It's been the
I think-
longest week I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
I think Gilly's words there are perfect as well. It's just giddy excitement. I can't. I like that. That's the thing that I have been all week. I haven't been nervous in any way at all. I've been pure giddy like a kid on Christmas Day, just to get there, just for Sunday to come along, so I can go down and just go on the lash and just be like, yeah, fuck it, we're here, it's class, let's do it. Let's run amok and turn the stadium white, and then I don't know, fuck a load of washing up liquid into Trafalgar Square fountain. And...
Do you know what? That's almost what I'm looking more forward to if we win. Is the aftermath?
It'll be insane. It'll be absolutely insane. This dickhead's going straight home.
I know.
Well,
we'll all be in fountains getting fucked up, and he'll be driving up
I'll
there.
be hanging off Nelson's column on your flag.
I thought you were going to say Nelson's cock then.
He might be by that point.
Until the bubble chat started, I was like, yeah. The idea was behind us coming home to celebrate up in Leeds, but yeah, with the fairy liquid and people jumping in fountains and stuff, I don't know. It sounds a bit exciting.
But the problem is you're going to have to get back to wherever you've parked up, and then there's going to be traffic everywhere. It'll take you 2 hours, 3 hours, get out of London, and then it's a 3-4 hour drive home.
It's
You're
fine,
waiting 7 hours to even start celebrating.
I'll come and bunk up with you then. It's fine. Thanks for offer.
Play Piggy in the
got a bath.
My teeth in. Play Piggy in the middle with Gilly and Gail. Who's in the middle? Just turn the lights off and you've just got to feel who's in the middle. Yeah, I mean, I'm not nervous yet, and I think a reason for that is how we performed at Ellen Road against Norwich. I think had we scraped through that result, I think we'd probably be a little bit more nervous because we'd probably feel that we'd be going into this as underdogs. Whereas I actually think we're going to go into this as favourites, based on the semi-finals. Now we both got through those fixtures. How do you feel about that then, Karl? Do you think we're favourites going into this, or do you reckon we're second?
I think it's mad that we're considered favourites, considering that Southampton have beaten us twice this season. But we know how beating a team twice in one season can end as well, you know? Derby, yeah. But the 2 finals already this season, the winning team has lost twice to the team that they're playing in the final.
Leeds can break records.
No, I'm not saying that, man. Not at all. I'm saying we'll fucking add to that record, man. All the teams that got beaten twice by the teams in the season, we'll add to that record and we'll fucking do it. That's as simple as that. That's my opinion.
I think there will be almost a full confidence going into this from a Southampton perspective, because look, they played us early on in the season when they needed a result. They were getting hammered week in, week out. They turned us over at their place, albeit we had Cooper, Strike, Shackleton, and I forget who played right back. Was it Archie? I think we had a really poor back four.
We even had Paveda playing as well in midfield, didn't we?
Yeah, and Shaq was at right back. Yeah. And I think we had Cooper and Strike at centre back, and I think might have been Byram at left back, actually, I think, if I remember correctly. So yeah, we had a completely different back line anyway. And then the result they got us against us at our place, we basically played no midfield. We had to go for it. We had to get a result, didn't we? And they still only beat us 2-1. And it was a game where we pretty much threw all the tactics against the wall and just went to win that game. So I think it is a full confidence. I think if you look at the games back and look at them on paper, there's actually an argument to say that, you know, on another day we probably should be winning both those games. I would have won both those games. Sorry, Ayling was right back. Shaq was left back. Thanks, Glenn. Forgot about Luke Ayling playing for us for the first half of the season, actually. But, and then he goes out on loan and he's the highest assister in all the top leagues in England or something stupid.
I wonder if he's going to be there at Wembley.
Him and Furpo.
Yeah, he will be there. He will be there.
I reckon he's on
right,
holiday now.
Yeah, let's talk a bit about the game. And I spoke a bit there about the performance at Ellen Road against Norwich in the second half. Jay, do you expect the lineup to be pretty much similar, or do we reckon that he's actually going to maybe throw something out there a little bit different? Like maybe the first fixture when we played almost without a striker.
I'm actually really unsure on this one because.
Okay, next.
Fucking
sorry, Jay.
Had Southampton not done what they did to us in that last game, I would say yes, we'll play the same way we played in the second leg. But because they did what they did, I'm unsure. He may go for what he did in the first leg up till sort of 60 minutes ish. Try and keep it tight.
It was Shaq and Byron. Sorry, Glenn. I was right. Thank you.
Fucking hell, Glenn coming at us with bloody facts and he's getting them chuffing wrong. It's like having fucking stats on the show.
We don't have that here. I think there's a possibility he starts the way that we played the first leg and then switches to the normal formation in the latter stages of the game, depending how it's going.
Yeah. I said that, and then contradicted myself on Not Another Leeds podcast a moment ago because it's a big switch. It's a big switch to make, isn't it? Going from not playing a striker with Rutter at 9 and then bringing Pirro on for who would it have been? It would have to be somebody. I can't even work it out, but yeah, basically
it were good that you had like a conversation with yourself and talked yourself out of where you started.
So yeah, I mean, Gilly, can you really change that women formulation?
I think
formulation.
Both
formulation. Could this be the best game ever?
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't just me that heard that.
Formula and formation mixed to one, Karl. I'm a blender.
He's a visionary. As a pioneer.
You're a mind.
My modern day Shakespeare.
Sure,
yeah.
Sorry, can Gilly talk now?
Yeah.
Cheers, lads.
All right.
I think that we might see more of the first leg than the second leg. The second leg was always going to be a monster of a game, but it was at our place. We know we've played there this season. We knew what it was going to be like. But I think it'll be a case of we need to play our way into it. You know, it's a very different opposition. We've seen what they've done against us, whereas with Norwich, I think we were clear favourites, just like Saints were clear favourites against West Brom. So I think it's one of those where we need to play our way into the game. And I suspect, especially given the way that Smallbone, who I don't really rate but did well against us,
because he had looking wanker.
Yeah, because he had the freedom of the midfield, didn't he? He just waltzed through us. I do not think that we'll see anything like the approach, even if we see the same formation. So I do suspect a lot of this, I think, hinges on Byram's availability, which I think is still in doubt. And I think if Byram's available and he thinks he's fit enough, I think we might see Archie in midfield. And if he's not, we'll see Archie at right back. But I think that might be what the driver there is. And I think all things being equal, if Byram were playing available to play, I think we'd see Archie in midfield again with both Gruev and Kamara.
Really? So you think he'd drop Pirro?
Well, now that's the question, isn't it? Because Pirro had his best game for us last time out, but it does leave us very open. So I don't know. I'm not paid the big bucks to decide.
It's a conundrum, isn't it?
It is.
Smarty, how would you line up? Not how you think we'd line up. How would you line up?
I would line up exactly the same way. There was talk of obviously people talking about Bamford coming back into the squad and stuff like that, but you cannot knock out Pirot against Norwich. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. I thought he played really well. Some of his touching and his movement and stuff. Steady on, pun not intended. I thought he was brilliant. So yeah, I would definitely start the same way, 100% same lineup for me. No changes.
Pod Dodger, you're muted.
You muted yourself, you tit. Has he got a fan on or something? Is that what we can hear whizzing in the background? Have we got like a local server? Or something?
There's a bit of white noise. We can tell you. We can tell when you've muted.
Like
yeah, we can.
He's got his love eggs on.
He's lost
his love
remote.
eggs in. One of them vibrating buttons.
I'm gonna go grab a beer. Wait.
Oh.
I've even forgotten what you asked me now. I was trying to get the brand fucking done there that you were asking.
Gilly,
well, you go do
I'm
that.
Begging
Then,
you,
Carl, and we'll
I'm
have a chat.
begging you, Gilly, to make an end of season compilation of Karl's best bits because it'll be amazing.
It's not fucking on, like.
Just stills of his faces would be good enough, I think. Just loads of stills of him going.
Like Angela
Carl.
Handel in Father Ted.
We'll do a T-shirt when we get popular one day, and it'll have Karl's confused face.
Carl, do we see any changes on Sunday? And would you make any changes? Is the question.
No, I'd leave it
Two
as it
questions.
was. Yeah, no. First answer. No, leave it as it is. I think. What was that second one? Was it okay?
It's fine. You do what you want.
Look, at the end of the day, it's a winning team. I think Pirro has shown in the last game that he is up for it, and I think it'd be wrong to take him out after the performance that he put in on Thursday night. I think we reverted back to what was working before the international break, and if it's working again and we haven't conceded in 2 games, leave it be. Just leave it be. If you're going to make changes, make them at appropriate times in the second half if needs, but don't change the starting 11 for me. Like it's going into such a big game, it's damn near suicide. I know what you mean about that white noise. Yeah, I can hear it there myself. Like, yeah.
I thought it was Smarty falling into his fridge.
Yeah,
There definitely was some of that as well.
yeah. But no, for me, it stays the same. You can't change that. Like it was as far as complete performances go. That was pretty much. Am I still on mute or is?
Can you hear that?
Smarty?
No,
he's
still
talking over you, mate.
It's just been. I nearly said that word then.
I'm excited, Karl. Sorry, Karl. Carry on.
It's all right, Smarty. Don't worry about it.
We should be pretty privileged that obviously you're actually talking for once, not looking at us with a blank stare.
Well, I was doing other shit, like, but here I am on a pod contributing. No, just leave it as it is. Leave Archie at right back. Like I said, if you need to make changes, but don't change it the starting 11. Make them at appropriate times.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, I think so. Jay, we've just no, he didn't. Gilly mentioned there about potentially Byram coming back in if he's available. There's an argument to say that Archie's best position he's played his best when he's been at right back, and the team's played better when he's played at right back. If he's fit, Byram, do you think would you still leave Archie at right back based on the last performance, or would you be looking at tinkering and making obviously taking into account we're going up against a 3 in midfield in Downs, Aribo, and Smallbone? We've got to try and negate that because I feel that's where the game's going to be won. Do you think we need to be playing a 3 to opposite them, or do you think we need to try and stick to his guns and do what we do best?
Do what we do best. For me, our best performances have come playing that system, and we have looked a little bit like our old selves in these last 2 games. So it gives me a bit of hope we can do what we're good at, and we can get back to where we were in this game. I'm changing nothing. I'm nervous about the prospect of them cutting through us again, but I think that we've got to be kind of fearless and go at them, because if we're sat back worried about them, they're just going to play their game and they're going to run riot, and we can't let that happen. Possibly even tell someone to take an early yellow to smash Smallbone and upset him.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should do. I think Archie Gray's best performances for us have been at right back, and the team's looked far more complete because Kamara and Gruev don't sort of get in each other's way that way as well. And I just don't want it to, I think an early goal is really, really important, but I don't want us to try too hard for that. And I think it was you. Was it you who said it earlier, Jay? You'd like to see an approach of Norwich away in the first half and control the game, and then going a little bit more Norwich at home in the second.
I think he might do that. I'd like to just go at him personally, but I think he might do that.
Do you not think we'll leave ourselves a little bit exposed if we go from the first whistle against a team like Southampton who've got good midfield?
To a degree, but at the same time, you don't have to go hammer and tongs from the first whistle. You know what I mean? You're playing that system. You can try and be solid initially for 5-10 minutes and then grow into it a bit. But I would want to go in there with like an attacking purpose and attacking sort of outlook. I wouldn't want to be trying to soak it up for 45 minutes, then go after him. I don't want to piss about. I really want to see us get an early goal, because I think if we don't, or if they get one, it's just going to be fucking nerve central, and our crowd is going to make that, we're going to transmit that to the pitch, to the players, because everyone's so nervous. Everyone's had so much disappointment this season, missing out on the top two, and this is like last chance saloon. It's shit or bust.
We need to take the momentum out of their gameplay from the get-go, I think, personally.
Break them up. Don't let them do what they do.
Yeah.
Which is something we did really well in both legs against Norwich. The first leg, we controlled it, and we just simply weren't going to let them do that at Ellen Road. So we almost took the sting out of the tie, or the both games, in the first game, because to go away from home and dictate the tempo, and whilst we did play a lot more side balls, is that a thing? Side passes, and passes backward. I do feel that they replaced that in the home leg with Ingruev and Kamara looking forward rather than backward or sideways.
Kamara were like a man possessed.
Yeah, it was brilliant, and I think that's what it is going to come down to the midfield battle for me on Sunday, and that's ultimately where the game will be. I know it's an old cliche, but where the game will be won or lost. Jay, you touched on the atmosphere there. Smarty, what do you think about this rallying cry from Farker in the presser today, saying he wants to see a wall of white? And we don't necessarily need it, but it would be good to see everybody in sort of Leeds clobber, and I think the atmosphere would feed off that. But what do you make of it?
I think if the home game against Norwich is anything to go by, I think that's the benchmark, and that's what we've got to aim for. I mean, it's going to be difficult because people are just going to be spread out everywhere. So you obviously your main sources of volume in the Ellen Road are the South Stand and bits of the Cop and all that sort of thing. But I think everyone's going to be up for it. I think anyone who are watching the game on TV, or anyone who's seen highlights or whatever, if you were actually at Ellen Road, can obviously see what it was like and see the atmosphere that we created when we were there. And I think that we just need to do it again. And I think, given the occasion and stuff, I think we'll definitely do that. It's I haven't really spoken much about it, but I'm not nervous going into this game. I'm confident, but I just want to enjoy it. At the end of the day, as long as we get to see a good game of football and that no team plays kind of conservatively and they just try and fucking smash each other, really, hopefully we're on the better end of it. But as long as it's a decent game and I'm not bored to frigging tears, because I think that's what will affect the atmosphere most. If it's boring football, we've seen it time and time again at Ellen Road. If it's shit to watch, then it just sucks the life out of the crowd. So, but I don't think it will be. I hope it won't be anyway.
I think you make a good point there as well, but at the same time, I watched the interview, I don't know if you saw it on LUTV, with Archie and Jorginho. They asked each other questions. And
I watched that eearlier.
Yeah, Archie asked Georgie what was his favourite bit about Thursday night, and he said the wall of white, or the fans with the scarves. He said he's never seen anything like it. Imagine if they come out to that, and that's a constant thing for 90 minutes at Wembley. Imagine the buzz they're feeding off when that happens. I know Southampton will probably try and replicate the same, but I think it's a cliche to say that the fans are the 12th man, but in times like that, when the players are openly saying what a positive and good effect it had on how they played and how they felt about the game. Like Georgie said, he didn't feel nervous when he was playing. It shows what an effect we can have on them. So if we're doing all right, just keep it positive and just. I'm not trying to be a fucking happy clapper now by any means, but I just think
if you can't happy clap now, Karl, when can you happy clap? For fuck's sake, we're in the playoff final.
That's also very true. But I just think it's imperative that we turn up on Sunday regardless. I know we will, but it's something that we need to do. I think it's vitally important, really.
Well, the fans will.
Yeah.
I think as long as we remain disciplined, we are quite ruthless, and we're confident and we take risks. I think we'll do it.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
absolutely.
I think we just need to. The players need to believe in themselves, because I think a little bit of that belief was lost.
I'm full of
a few
belief.
weeks before. I know you believe in. You believe in.
And I think this goes back to what I said about the momentum going into this game. What a time to go in and play those two legs against Norwich and absolutely dominate both games, but actually set in two completely different ways. We obviously didn't score at Carrow Road, but they didn't look like scoring. We absolutely, marked them out of the game. They're three best players in Sarah. I forget the other two, but
Rod Flanders.
Yeah, no, sorry, not the striker. What was the lad who is he Mexican or something? I can't remember his name.
Was it
Nunes, maybe, I can't remember. Anyway, but they didn't even have a look in, even at their place. And then they came up here. They dropped their best player against us at home, and he didn't even start. What was his bloody name? I can't remember. Anyway, so yeah, it's about, like you said, disciplined performance. We've got. I don't think we go for it from the first whistle. Science, that's him. Cheers, Tony. You do talk some sense. I
thought Nunes played well as Science.
Nunes was the other one. And yeah, we just need to man for man. I said this, as I keep saying this, that we are the best team, or have been the best team in this league when we've been at our peak. We've just unfortunately not stayed at that peak for extensive periods other than that run we went on. The start of the season, end of the season, two massive dips in form. Simon Johnson's with us. Simon Johnson has said, good evening, Simon, all the way from the West Bromwich. He lives around that way somewhere, I think.
Somewhere
squad,
around there,
the fans need to keep positive.
If you're wrong, he's probably going to be very pissed off with you.
No, he's down that way somewhere. The fans need to keep positive. They're not mentally strong enough to deal with it. If it goes the other way, they'd be doomed. I think that's a really good point. We've seen it, haven't we? That we've got a really, really young squad.
I dispute this a little, because
come on, then show me your evidence actually, and you're working out.
Before that comment came in,
Brolin.
I was just about to say, cheers, Shorty. I was just about to say, what a show of character from them players that many people had written off, to come back, get 2 clean sheets in a row, and to absolutely dominate the opponent in the second leg. And for me, the chips were down there. It was shit or bust in each of those games, and they came through. Like, obviously there's times this season where we've fallen when we should have been better, but they are a young squad, they're learning. I'm not sure it's about mental strength. I think it's more about experience. To come back for the playoff games and play the way that they did after the run that we'd had before that, everyone was pissed off. Elland Road were like a morgue the last couple of games, and they came out and they did it. And for me, that shows mental strength. I mean, I don't want to contradict a professional who knows far more than me, but I am gonna.
I disagree with that. I think that had we had a bit of a mentally strong side, we'd already be promoted now. I think we've
fair enough.
I think that's why we have come unstuck in games like Blackburn and games like Chef Wednesday. We failed to beat them, didn't we? Rotherham, I think, didn't we draw with Rotherham early on in the season as well?
Chef Wednesday were right at the start, wasn't it?
Mental strength,
we were playing.
Is it?
Well, I think it
that's
is.
just down to form, I think, more than anything, especially early.
That was
in the season
chaos
as well.
at that point.
Dog botherers.
Had Willie Nanto's agents sending
We always
transfer
struggle. We
requests.
struggle against
QPR.
teams with the low
QPR.
blocks and those sort of teams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we do.
awful, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So,
towards the
like I said, there are times we've folded, but we've come back. We've shown strength of character to come back at the end of the season.
I think the spotlight games, the ones that are really, really important, we've done well in. Your Leicesters, obviously the playoff semi-finals, etc. There are others,
Would you not say QPR was one of the most important games, and that ultimately determined our season?
I don't know, because I don't think it was a spotlight game to start off with, because it was just a normal game that we should have won. I don't think we set it up to be a spotlight game like the playoffs are, or like Leicester. We knew Leicester were going to be a big game for us. I think it's a totally different circumstance.
It's the games where you go in knowing that you could lose this game.
It's a game that you go in like, we need to win this game.
Paul Brennan
feel like that.
For us.
The last 6 matches did us. If we'd won our last 3 home matches, where we went unbeaten all season until that point, we would have been
100%.
promoted. So, I think a lot of that.
Though, aren't we?
Yeah, of course we are. And I think a lot of that does feed off us as fans and ultimately that's we're going to be the difference down there. You know, Southampton will make a little bit of noise, but we know what we know what we can do as a fan base, and that second leg at Norwich just proves everything and everything that it needs to be. It needs to be gritty. We need to be booing them every time they're on the ball. We need to be loud every time we get opportunities. And like you say, Smarty, it is very difficult in a stadium like that, because I've been to away games when they've almost separated the away fans, and you know, Karl's been to a few in the Premier League when the noise just doesn't transpire.
You know what it's like at the Molineux. The Molineux is one of the worst stadiums.
Molineux wasn't that bad
because you're spread across that whole stand in the lower tier. And you don't have that like volume of noise. It
was much worse than that though.
Moves around in a wave.
We both went to that, didn't we, Luke?
We did, yeah. There's loads like it, but I'm hoping because we've actually got half of the stadium and some, actually that noise just echoes and carries. And we'll do it. I'm sure we'll do our best as we go on. Right then, let's run through a few of these comments, and then we'll go on to a couple of other bits. We've talked Wembley up to death. So comments, let's add some comments. So Karl, Lee has said that you will look like a thin Pablo Escobar when you're shaving the tash.
If only I had the money.
I like it. By all them rubber bands.
Is that plenty of the hippos?
Arthur, I do apologise. I do apologise, Tony. I apologise.
You can use that. You stand up.
It was Arthur Bushby who was talking nonsense, not you. Sorry, I do apologise. But he actually come up with a little bit of gold knowledge here. Don't buy food at Wembley, £10 burger and chips.
He's not talking shit anymore.
That doesn't seem that bad, is it? Burger and chips.
It's £20 at download now.
I mean,
festivals.
Is that from a rap burger fan? Or is that
everybody, mate?
Is it? They don't do Chernobyl burgers like Ellen Road do Chernobyl burgers, or do they?
They're a special type of fucking burger.
Yeah, fucking seriously.
They're frisbee. Like you get
like Demolition Man.
You know, if you get one before the game, they're all right.
You see any guys
after the game?
Man, the thing is, as well, like if you threw that, you'd probably get a lifetime ban on your season ticket taken away from you because it's a missile.
Using a dangerous weapon,
food
like throwing stars.
Yeah, that's it exactly. Nearly took
fucking discus flying. Oh Jesus Christ! Imagine throwing one of them bastards from top of fucking stadium. You go miles.
Lee Fryer says he can fuck him. Who can fuck him?
What's that about?
I'm not sure what that was relative
That's
to.
That's a classic Karl Stad comment, is that? That's a classic. There's no context. No one has a fucking clue what it is.
No, I stand that because I didn't know what the context was when I saw it.
Lee, if you can tell us what this means, I would be very, 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 very grateful. Thank you, because none of us have a clue. Skip, great question, and I'm going to come round to each of you for your penalty taker. Smarty, who's your first penalty taker?
Ooh, Cree.
Go to you, Jay.
Somerville.
What the penalty taker?
Just a penalty taker, Jay.
Somerville, yeah.
No, you've got to pick somebody else because we can only have five. There's five of us.
Oh, sorry, I won't with you. I'm reading comments. Peru next then.
Let's go with Karl next because I'm going to make it harder for you, Gilly.
You couldn't make it harder for Gilly. I go Nonto if he's on the pitch.
I knew you'd pick him.
Yeah.
And Jay, it's not a fucking guess who.
This is Italian.
I'm going to go for... Now, go on, Gilly. Who's yours? Fourth.
So, Divine Retribution.
Oh, God.
Hated at the start of the season.
No.
Ex-scummer.
No.
Missed the penalty for Wales.
No.
Take us to the Premier League, Mr. Dan James.
Dan James. And then I'm going to go for Gruev for the last one.
I was going to say Gruev as well,
But you didn't, Karl, so it don't matter.
Hell, Jesus.
I am surprised nobody's gone Firpo.
Yeah.
That's a good
Stroik
shout,
can take penalty, but he's not going to be on. Right, thanks, Skip. That's that one. Robert Wetzel says, yes, I'm anxious. First time I've been like this for a sports team other than my US college team. I know they take it quite seriously over there, the college football and all that sort of stuff.
They're bigger than the NFL.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm anxious yet. I'm excited. I'm sure anxiety will come, and I'm sure the nerves will come. But I think as a group, none of us seem that anxious, do we? Yet?
I was more worried before the Norwich games.
I won't win it at all. And I thought we were going to lose, I'll be honest with you, against Norwich. And I was pleasantly
You were just like,
surprised.
fuck it.
Yeah, but fuck it, I'll go for a few pints anyway, folks. It'd be interesting to see what the American contingent make of this. Obviously, we've got quite a lot of new fans that have never experienced this kind of footballingness before. So it'd be like obviously Robert, is over from the US&A. So it'd be interesting to see what they think of it all.
They have playoffs, though, don't they? NFL and stuff. They'll know the
I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue.
Yeah,
mate. I don't follow that
they'll
stuff.
know the kind of jeopardy, the feelings, and
Yeah, but there's
the
no
nervousness.
promotion relegation though, is there?
Yeah, it's
No.
not, it's
So
not
you
the
don't
same.
you don't
It's not the
quite
same.
get the same.
But you want to get to the Super Bowl.
And it's 3.5 hours of 15 minutes of play throughout the whole goddamn
Yeah,
thing.
that's it. It's on NFL stuff, and I dare say 90% of the Brits do not watch NFL, so they probably won't have a clue what you're talking about.
Okay, fair enough.
True.
Moving on. Tony O'Shea, actually, I take it back, Tony. You do talk some rubbish because you think our expectations are too high. I don't think they are too high. I think we finished third in the league and arguably could have easily finished second or first at some stages during the season. So why would you suggest our expectations to win at Wembley are too high? Does anybody agree with that comment?
I don't think it's too high an expectation.
No, I think
it's
about
reasonable
level.
given the season we had.
I have been cringing hard over a few things I've read on Twitter. When we get promoted and all this sort of stuff, I'm just like, oh, fucking hell, no, please don't say that sort of thing. But yeah. I think a lot of us are quite level-headed about it all.
Just so the comment that I've just started doesn't seem so random. Robert says
Is that the
I
hippo?
nailed it about the fucking NFL.
Been nailing hippos, Karl.
We've got a pod
Anyway.
title.
I'll nail hippos.
No, just nailing hippos. Don't put my name in the fucking title. Like,
Oh,
Jesus
no,
it needs to be.
Christ.
That's not how it works. You don't get to.
Moving on. It's good to see Five Legends on time. Paul, as ever, thanks for being here. You've been here all season. We do appreciate it.
The master
It's a
of
famous
emoji.
line.
Always with us.
Are all Leeds United. I see fans, respect, gentlemen, loads of emojis of the peacocks. Always a pleasure, Paul. I'm going to save this Stad comment because it's something I just want to talk about right at the end. Skip mentioned something we've already really talked about, the Saints midfield of Downs, Aribo and Smallbone. We've come to the conclusion that's where the game's going to be won. Joe seems to think, hello, Joe. We've seen your ref watch this week as well. Last time he ref the Leeds game, I think, was the home fixture for Saints, and they beat us 3-1 or 3-0, according to you.
It's the only one
she got a bit of stick about.
Yeah, he's the only one he's
Yeah.
ref players this season.
Yeah. And Joe thinks we need goals early to give us the confidence. I do. I think we're very much a confidence
Definitely.
team, aren't we? We need to get that early goal or the first goal. If we go behind, it's a much more difficult afternoon, isn't it? I mean, other than the obvious, you're a goal behind it, the mentality and everything that goes behind it. Paul Brennan seems to think Pirro will start as Patrick isn't fit. So I'm assuming he's thinking it's still a normal 4-2-3-1 type approach. Glenn, the final day was a chasing a result type, and they've not played the real Leeds this year. Same team and a calmer approach. Can't argue with that.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Steve Brown touches on something I think you mentioned, Smarty. Discipline will be key. The ref likes a card. He averages over 4 yellows a game and a red every 7 games. When was the last time he issued a red? Please don't tell me 6 games ago. Because they're pretty fucked. Unless it's a red for Saints player, which would be nice. So those of you who haven't seen, there's a poll up for who would we like in a dream world to come in and score or to start and score the 95th minute winner. The options are Archie Gray, Junior Firpo, Melier, or other. Have you
It's got to
voted
be
for the
Archie
moment?
on it. It's got to be
Yeah,
Archie.
I'm all of that other.
See, this
Who
is the thing.
would you be your other? Who would be your other?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk for Cooper.
Cooper won't make
Imagine-
it on.
I know he's not likely to play, but just imagine if he was the
It would be
one.
class.
Just imagine, and especially after Dan James spooned that corner on purpose so that he didn't have a chance to get his goal against Norwich.
Yeah. Anybody else for another? Anybody else would pick somebody else that I've not mentioned? Carl,
I think
would you
it'd be a
go with one
good
of them?
time for Kamara to get his first goal. That'd be absolutely hilarious if he scored 1 goal all season. That was the goal
Joe,
to get us up.
That
That'd
Ben
be
White, wasn't it?
absolutely-
Last game
Yeah.
at season.
Oh,
one of them
yeah.
volleys.
Yeah. more significant than Ben White's now, mine. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely in that bracket. Like, but yeah, it'd be funny to see it because like everyone would go nuts. It's like it was like when Gruev got that goal, regardless of the goal. We were
Do
all
you know
like,
what? I
"Fucking
wouldn't care who
Gruev."
scored it. I wouldn't care
I
if
mean,
it
it
went.
comes, that's what it comes down to, innit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't give a shit who
Oh,
scored it.
I just want to celebrate. I just
Lots
want to
of
celebrate
shouts.
at Wembley.
Lots of
Yeah,
shouts
does
from
anyone-
different players, but yeah.
Does anyone else have one of these at work still?
Yeah,
Mine doesn't
dude.
work.
Does it still work?
No,
Yeah.
mine would.
I
mine
opened
snapped.
more bottles than
It's
you.
long gone.
My battery
Lovely,
ran
man.
out.
Just change the
Yeah.
fucking battery then.
Johnny Brown says Gilly doing a pod at half
Snap,
nine,
but it's
killing the
got a
Predator
screw.
at 10.
Like a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus.
And back to building the wall in the morning.
yeah.
Joe Bedford calls me a tit, I assume, for bringing back up her 3-0 victory early on in the season for Saints. Which that was a good one. And Robert Wetzel says, I can do without the lid, but Gully pulls it off.
I think
Though
he's on
I
about
need
me
that
out.
shirt bad.
He's on
I
about
hope
that.
he's on about you. That.
I was wondering what lid he was pulling off there, to be honest. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Maybe lid means something else in America.
Cool. Right, let's have a bit of a chat then about this. What are our thoughts on this in the Trinity at the moment? And I haven't seen it until earlier on Not Another Leeds podcast. So I'm just going to get the picture up.
In
the brand.
3, 2, 1.
Fuck you.
I knew you wouldn't be able to do it.
So this has apparently been painted on the ceiling or the roof of
Fucking hell.
the Trinity. It doesn't even look like him. It looks like Danny
a
Trejo
terrible-
from
Actually, looks like Predator.
I was going to say, it looks like
Gilly's off to go get his shotgun.
it looks like Worf from Star Trek: Next Generation. It's a
Yeah,
bad
it does.
angle though. There's a
I
better
think it's
one.
right angle.
the angle,
Like from
yeah.
there, yeah.
Yeah,
But what
yeah.
I mean,
He's got a massive heat.
what do we think of that? I mean, he's quite a good-looking bloke, isn't he?
That doesn't really do anything for him, does it?
I mean,
For an
if you considered how big that must be for it to do that on Trinity's roof, do we think that finally
200
we found a head as big as Smarty's?
That's not happening.
No, even Smarty's like for like is bigger than that.
Yeah,
No, mate.
that's
No,
yeah.
they'd have to scale mine down to get my bonds on that roof.
Scale it down. They'd have to build a new fucking roof.
Oh dear, Joe's just told us that the red before was 12 games, so he's due nearly 2.
Oh, fuck.
Which isn't great. Paul Brennan says the ref is the Australian guy who refed us in the. He was very good ref, by the way. Jared Gillett.
Oh yeah, he's on the
yeah,
bar.
that guy.
That's a very Australian
okay.
name, that.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good that he's
Up
on
the
bar.
odds.
So his thoughts on the thumbs up or thumbs down on the mural, I suppose, if it's one of those. Carl?
Okay.
It's grand, yeah.
Whatever,
It's
yeah,
grand.
sound.
It's good.
It'll do for me. It's all support for lads.
Yeah.
Whatever
Put a few of the
makes
players
you
up on there.
bloody happy.
He said it should be him. He said it should be Rutter, Somerville,
Yeah,
Gray, and Mellier.
yeah.
That's it.
But anyway,
Cool. Right then, let's move on to my favourite part of the podcast that we do on a week in, week out basis when I can be asked finding the video.
Hey, oh, has got a shit tick this week, my little sparrow fact.
It is that time where we stroll and peruse social media to find somebody's really, really shit take. Gilly, if you want to take us away on this, because I know you were the one who actually did some work this week and found a couple.
What a guy.
Cheers, lads. Just very quickly, I'm going to run and grab a beer, so just enjoy.
Yeah,
Good
no
man.
worries. That's
Good
fine.
man.
I'll
I like
pick that
where your
up.
head's at there.
Um,
Is this going to be
the first
Christ, what the fuck?
The first one is TN72, who is a Saints fan, who says Leeds can't even sell half of Wembley. Let's drop the big club shite. They made some noise in 2 games. Their stands were empty 5 years ago. Returning tickets to a player final is embarrassing. It transpires that Leeds did sell all of their tickets and Saints did not. So Leeds even sold all the club Wembley tickets, even though they were double the price, and Saints were being given extra tickets because theirs didn't go in their end.
They couldn't even sell to sponsors.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know a
That's
load
why
of
they got an
Leeds
extra
fans.
allocation of general sale.
I know a lot of Leeds fans have managed to get their way into the Southampton end, and that's really hurt
no, we
a
don't
lot
know
of them.
that. There's been some rumours about that, so you know.
Well, apparently so, but there's you would say it's as though the requirements for bagging yourself a ticket are practically fuck all. There's reason to believe.
If you had an account before 10 minutes ago, then you can have access.
Yeah. Bryn Johnson's in the comments says Gilly's get up is the shittest take.
I don't think there's anybody who agrees with that, Bryn.
Talk to me, Goose.
Yeah, but have you seen a few Twitter little warriors from Southampton saying that they've managed to get tickets in Leeds End? Absolute load of fucking bullshit. Even fucking Leeds fans can't get into the Leeds End. Yeah, nice try, lads, nice try.
Yeah, well done, lads.
That's proper butt at them as that, like.
Yeah.
So the first one is just Saints fans losing their shit over the ticketing. The next one, Schmeichel opens up about his time at Leeds United.
I've not seen this.
He's a shithead.
He says, I didn't enjoy my time at Leeds. It's a shame because it's an incredible club. I think it was wrong time, wrong place, wrong person. Look, I understand the rivalry is there, but when you're calling my dad certain names, it's not going to endear me, regardless if you say I'm all right.
All right. But your dad's...
Never mind.
Yeah.
That first thing I said as soon as we logged in tonight.
That's the one.
It's fair game now, isn't it?
So, I mean, do you know what? It's such a long time ago. Get over it. Just get over it. It's fine. It's gone.
Is this a new? Is this new?
This is today on a podcast.
No.
Yeah, this is
he
today
still
on a
banging that
podcast
frigging
called The
drum?
Rest is Football.
Just trying to stay relevant, innit? Where is he
The
playing
podcast
now?
came
Not
out
that we
today.
care.
Is he not retired now?
I don't have a clue.
I don't.
He was
I
in
don't care.
Nice.
I don't
He
know.
was at Nice last season.
Murray? Christ,
Yeah.
what a... Yeah.
It was very immature in my way of being, and I felt at the time some of the things that were said about my dad were very disrespectful. Well, he shouldn't have been a summer. His own fault.
What do you expect?
I actually really rated Casper for us as well. I thought it was a good goalie.
It was all right.
I was off.
It
I
was,
was disappointed.
but why
We've had
sign
a
for
lot,
to be
Leeds?
fair.
We've had a
Why
lot
sign
worse.
for Leeds, knowing the rivalry, and expect any different?
Yeah. And then the last one is, so there's a little bit of an issue with the translation here. So I actually checked the translation on a separate one. It's not quite done it right on Twitter. So this is a White's Brazil account. And what it says is Jesse Marsh, former Leeds coach, gave an interview February. Jesse Marsh says in a podcast that Crescencio Somerville and Ademola Lookman are among the worst coaches he's ever had. What it actually says is they're among the worst players I've ever coached.
Yeah.
The worst at training.
Really?
Not
shows
the
you
worst
right,
players,
doesn't
but
it?
the worst at training. And then in April, Somerville wins the Best Player of the Season award. And Ademola Lookman, I don't know if you saw, I only saw part way through, but scored 2 for Atalanta in Europe.
He got a hat-trick.
Got a hat-trick.
But an hat
So
trick. I only
he's
saw
one-
that he got 2.
One of
God
6
help
players
Canada.
to ever get a final hat trick.
Yeah,
Bad, isn't it?
and that was them beating a side that had literally gone all season in all competitions unbeaten until that point.
Yeah.
God help
I mean, it's
Canada.
just. I mean, you could put a Rizzler paper between them as to which I think is going to win because they are all seriously shit takes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that poll is now live. Saints struggling, Touchy Danes, Jesse's top trainers, and Gilly's get up. He's thrown in there just in case. And that's actually winning. That's winning by a considerable, by the way.
I best go quickly vote. Speaking of Jesse Marsh, have you obviously? I take it that you've all seen that he's taken the Canada job. How very unfortunate to be a Canadian Leeds fan.
That's why he's in the. That's why he's been making noise.
Can
this
you
week,
imagine what it's like to be living in that wonderful country and then that absolute Burke comes and takes over your national side? Oh, wow!
Them poor people.
Fucking hell!
What is it?
They don't
What is it
deserve
he
it.
say, lads? That Gage, is it? That fucking Gage. What's his problem?
Gadge.
Gage.
Gage.
I have no idea what you meant.
What is
Gage,
it?
isn't
He's a fucking
Lads,
Gage.
Gage in
lads.
Council Estates in Leeds is actually a triple neat vodka, and you're not
Right,
allowed to
okay.
sip it. That's a
Right,
Gage.
okay.
This? I've not heard that for about 25 years or so much.
Yeah.
Glad I'm
I-
able to
one of
hold
my
a
brother's middle
conversation
names
with
is
you. He can't
Gage.
even speak English.
Is it?
But it
He
is.
gets
It was a
ridiculed.
Gage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ah, right.
Gage.
Gage.
Cool.
Gage.
So those options are now up to vote on, and as ever, whatever wins. You don't get a prize or anything, but yeah, it's just
Get
what
us.
to do.
Joe's just
You get
made
to
a
meet
point
Luke
here
at
about
Wembley if you
Gillette.
want.
Look at that. I love how everyone stipulates VAR. You forgot he's the VAR that didn't think Bulldog's too footed, not too fucking. Challenge on Tyler Roberts a few years ago was a red.
Maybe he's grown as a person.
Yeah.
Maybe he's developed.
Maybe
I think
it's just
being
VAR shit.
I think being a ref and being a video assistant are two very different jobs. I'm not sure that they should even be the same people doing the jobs.
one's a whistle nonce, one's a screen nonce.
Well, I just think because they're mates, they don't want to throw their mate under the bus. Sometimes.
That's exactly what it is, which is why it just needs binning off. It's bollocks. It's corrupting fucking shit. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how these Premier League teams vote for the whether they save VAR or whether they turf it out. I don't know when that's happening, but I think it's soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
It'll be
Wolves that have written and asked for it to be banned. They've got to vote for it, though, haven't they?
Wolves
It's
won
a
it.
power play. It's a power play. False
Brentford. Yeah. They all want
And,
it.
hey, it will be very, very interesting. Very interesting.
At the end of the day, it might actually help us out because we've been written to 12 times, or the PGMOL have written to Daniel Farker or the Leeds United coach, whoever.
But you just know it's going to go against us in the final, don't you? That's like
Probably.
No, I'm waiting to get awarded the penalty because VAR gives us it, and we can all say, finally.
Well, Jay, we've not had it all season. That's probably why you've not seen it, mate.
I'm talking about penalties not being given, you crank.
It's taken them all fucking season to give us a bloody decision,
I
bastard.
can't believe it. Jesus Christ.
Can't speak.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't
He's
cope with you.
fuming.
Fucking
I'm
raging,
tired,
brawling.
man.
Raging,
You're
brawling.
boggling my
Raging,
brain.
brawling.
Boggling my brain.
Don't worry, Jay. Just keep on brawling, baby.
Keep on brawling.
I will do.
You know what time it is?
For people who probably don't know, that's who I'm calling Brolin in the introduction in our little VT.
You look like fucking Brolin and you're a Leeds
You're a
18
Leeds
bastard.
18 bastard. That's actually me talking
it,
to
yeah.
Jay.
It is.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Anyway, right. I think we've pretty much run us course. We've got a couple more bits to do, and then you can all piss off and enjoy your weekends. But we will start with this bit.
Auto know better predictions.
Really, really important this week because it could be the difference between Gilly winning and losing the title. Is it the first time you will have won it? I think it is, isn't it?
The fans won it in the second season, and I finished second. So out of the pod regulars, I took that as a moral
So
victory.
basically, the answer is yes. It would be the first time you've won it.
I won it last
It's a
season.
pretty simple question, for fuck's sake.
Last season.
Who won it last season? Brendan, eh?
Jay did.
No, Bren won it first season. Jay won it last season.
I won it.
So those of you who have been around long enough to see us
recognition.
for almost 4 years now will know who won this. But
Is that how long we've been going?
Yeah, 3.5 years. Yeah,
Fucking hell.
3.5 seasons. We
Jesus
started like
Christ.
Christmas time, didn't we? Something like that.
Yeah.
And we've still only got 300 followers or something stupid. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, bloody subscribe. You
Get
get
subscribed.
chuffing subscribe. Get some bloody subscribe.
Just hold
Hit the
Just
bell
hold your
thing
horses,
as well.
people commenting. People commenting. I've not given you a green light yet. Stop getting trigger happy. And
Gone early.
the next one who comes in now, we're going with that one after Robert Wetzel's.
Oh, you bad go.
Whoa! Hey!
Did
Oh, we're on it. It's 10 o'clock. You're all right.
Was it? Nobody wants to go.
Nobody wants it.
Nobody, everyone's
It
got
means something now.
So
So we'll start with you then. Mark, right. Hang on. Rossett. 3-0.
3-0. Wow.
3-0. Booyah.
Gilly.
3-0 to who, though?
Yeah, he's obviously on a Leeds pod, isn't he? So it's fucking Leeds.
Sid.
It's not J Logic.
Gilly.
I've got
go,
Rossett
next
away
one.
at 3-0 Leeds. That's fine. I'll pick it up because I've got the order written out. So, Karl, you're first on my list.
No, it's not. It's who's the top, mate. So it's you.
I've already written mine down because mine's been 3-1 all season. So I'm going 3-1 Leeds.
Fucking hell, man.
And then who's second out of us lot? Me.
If we're doing it that way round, yeah.
I'm going to go 1-1
Really?
on penalties.
Oh,
Smarty.
shit. Christ, I hope not.
Oh, you just made me feel ill, man.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I'm going to go...
Not them nerves, lads.
2-1. 2-1 Leeds. Fucking up 'em, bastards.
Jay?
2-0 Leeds.
Who's
Karl.
squeaking? Some got some
Don't
squeaky
intend to.
trainers or some flip
That
flops.
was me rocking my legs. It's this chair, isn't it?
I gotta go 3-1 Leeds.
That's good in your compilation.
So we just need Bren. And I've just seen something from Michael Gott. 3.5 years and none of you have grown up. Well, growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional.
That's absolutely
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Cool.
We're all sat playing COD on the night. We're not growing up.
No, absolutely not.
Didn't grow up.
Haven't.
Have you got any AMC stuff to talk through? You've got your run, haven't you? Why don't you tell us about that, Smarty or Gilly? Any of you?
Oh, yeah.
It's Smarty's fault. He might as well talk about it.
I do, to be fair, I just basically made you do it with me. You know, you're the one that's driving the AMC stuff. To be fair, so I'll let you go.
It's
a shame we don't have the video that you posted the other day because that was quite funny. Gilly was, I think, Jane Tomlinson's the account tweeted us because obviously Gilly had made a post from our pod account saying that we were doing it and we're doing it for Andy's Man Club and stuff like that. So Jane Tomlinson, the account, replied, post as a story as to why you're doing it. So Gilly, halfway through a run, Christ knows why, dripping in sweat, looking minging. Starts a video, literally 3, 4, maybe 5 seconds into this video,
maybe.
The frigging ice cream van's chiming away in the background. Some gadget's hanging out the fucking window throwing cornettos at him, pretty much.
Some gauge.
Oh my God. Some gauge. Some gauge with a cornetto hanging out of a window. But yeah,
it was boiling, and I was like,
tear jerking.
3 or 4 into this run, and I was like, oh.
Have you done a 10K yet?
It's just
I
proper
have tonight.
That. Nothing goes right
tonight. I did 10.8 tonight.
Good effort.
It nearly killed me.
Smarty, you done any?
No. I've been doing 5s. I've been doing 5 steady 5s. I'm gonna try and bust a gut in this week.
Double it, hopefully.
I'm gonna try and do that. Yeah, he's fucking ruined himself though. This dickhead. He was doing 2s and 3s, and then he did a 7, and he's just gone for a big 10.5 and fucking shattered himself. I'm like, yeah.
I'm just waiting for you to pull out day before, Smarty. Oh, my knees. Oh, God.
I always pull out, James.
Bastard.
Clearly not. You've got a kid, haven't you?
Well, he's improved his technique now, Karl. Took a bit of practice.
That's because I didn't have to, Karl.
I think we're going off on a tangent there, lads.
Just to bring us back to actual football.
Yes.
Have I forgotten? Have I given my prediction yet?
Yes, you have. You said 3-1.
Sweet. Okay.
Johnny Brown's asked why I'm predicting his winning. I mean, he has.
Why is Hilly predicting?
Yeah, he has corrected himself afterwards.
He's had a couple of dockyards, hasn't he?
Why am I predicting his winning? He's saying we ain't been going up all season. It's because the bastards at Leeds United released a video just before the playoff semi-final and gave me hope. That's why.
What, yeah.
I've not watched it yet. I've not watched it yet.
They wrote me in.
I can't bring myself to do it because I'll be like a full-on believer. Oh, well, that's it. We're off. Oh, fuck it, yeah. And it's like, can't do it yet.
Do it just before you arrive at Wembley.
Yeah. I wonder what signal's like in Wembley. I wonder if
it'll be aced, won't it?
Amster 4G license Van Ellen Road.
I went last summer to AEW at Wembley, and there were like 90,000 people. He still had signal.
You went to watch men in boxers in pants covered in oil.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Greased up blokes cuddling each other in a ring.
It's
People entering other rings as well in the concourse.
Just men's
Jay's absolutely fucking loving it. Go on,
man. Cool. Have we got? There is one more comment that I just want to talk about. It's any other business really, so not Leeds related, but. What are your thoughts? I went on an Ipswich Town, what are they called, space on Twitter last night. One of my mates invited me on it, just to give them a perspective of what everything that's going on about McKenna.
You threaten anyone?
So Ipswich Town, both managers going. So somebody's deleted the other comment that I had up, but yeah, what are your thoughts on this? Because as he used, I mean. How would you feel had Bielsa got us promoted and then, you know what I mean? It's a bit disrespectful, isn't it? You know, getting him promoted. I know he wouldn't have done it. I know he wouldn't have done it.
Just because people are touting him doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to go.
But he's also, I've read that he's rejected any contract talks with Ipswich.
Well, that's it then. Fuck
but
Ipswich.
The other thing is,
they're coming back down anyway.
Maresca
they're straight
knows
back
that
down.
Leicester are getting 10-point deductions, so he barely got them up. So he's clearly not going to keep them up, and he doesn't want that in his CV.
That's a bit shit of him.
Mid-table, I'd say.
But would his stock fall that much? My argument was, look, he can go to Brighton, which are a far better run club. They're not as big historically as Ipswich, but they're far better run. He can go to Chelsea or Scum, who are arguably both poison challengers at the moment.
I mean, it'd be great for us as, you know, the scum-eating bastards that we are, because they'll just not improve at all. But I think for him as a career move, that would be stupid. He'd be like Potter going to Chelsea or something like that. It'd be just absolutely ludicrous.
But will he ever get a chance at a club as big as that again?
I think he just needs to not be a Lampard or a Gerrard and just take things as they come steadily. Go to Brighton. Go to a smaller club that are more efficient and they're doing all right. You know, do something like that.
He should go to Brighton. Thing is, like, how many times do you see?
I really think it makes sense. I think it's a well-run club. They'll give him time. They've got a good squad, and to a certain extent, you've got to say, although not at the top level, he's proven that he's a good coach, because you can't do what he's done without being a good coach. No. And he does have a little bit of pedigree in that he's worked as assistant managers and coaches and what have you at top flight clubs. So,
and they'll support him.
Yeah, they will
as well. They've got a good playing staff.
They're not going to sack him off if he has a poor start, a rocky start, or whatever. Tony Bloom is one of the best owners in English football. He's been brilliant for them. So I think I think that move makes sense. I think the bald fraud going anywhere like the Scum or Chelsea or whatever is going for a big payday. Now Leicester are in the mud. You know, but they're getting a big deduction right from the outset, and they're already not good enough because they've got a worse squad now than they got relegated with. So they're really up against it right from the start. So him jumping ship, but going for a massive payday makes sense. Sorry, Karl, I'm bothering you.
If those two both leave, they're both going to fail, but for different reasons. If Maresca leaves, he's going to fail because he had it easy with Leicester.
Because of the ball fraud.
Yeah, he had a great squad that any Tom, Dick, or Harry could have got promoted.
I reckon us collectively could do as good a job at Leicester as that dickhead.
I think so.
It's not hard. It's a completely unfair.
With McKenna though, if he goes to Brighton, that's a great move for him.
Yeah, I think
it's
so.
It's a good step as well to test himself.
It's a big step up, and if you prove it there, where you'll get back, then you might get a top job.
What's the goal? Like you said,
Brighton. Hang on a sec, Smarty. You go to Scum, and he's going to walk in that dressing room as a guy that the players don't respect.
He's not going to go to Scum. Scum won't have him there. It's just bollocks.
Scum
want the very, very best. That's just hearsay, and it's not official. It's not official.
Sky Sports
it's just
said
fucking
it.
hearsay. Fucking what they fucking know.
They'll go for someone like Sky Sports.
They'll go for someone like Xavi or someone like that who's just been sacked.
But if he did go
whoever goes to them wankers, it'll fail because the culture's fucked. There's everything. The whole infrastructure's fucked. They're expecting something that whatever. When fucking Ferguson pissed off or whatever. Bollocks to them. It's all.
I'll tell you something. How could they rebuild that stadium when they did, and it's now worse than ours?
Yeah. At least ours doesn't leak.
Yeah, isn't it?
Did they get some Irish contractors in?
Here.
Anyway, at the risk of making this not so much Leeds related, I'm gonna finish up by saying for those of you going to Wembley, stay safe. Yeah, shut the fuck up for 1 minute.
I've been telling you to fucking just give him a minute.
I know.
His pink glass.
Not the irony. He tells you to shut up and then fucking speaks over you, little bastard.
How dare you?
So nothing left really to say then. Enjoy the weekend. I just want to ask you all one last question, and I just want a yes or no answer. Is it imperative that we go up? Karl.
Do you know the question, Karl?
Yes. And yes, Gilly.
Yeah.
Fuck you, cheeky bastard, confusing me with him.
You're both bald, all right.
No, it's not imperative. I don't think.
No, Gilly and Luke.
It's not imperative.
It's imperative. We don't cave in if we don't go up.
That's not one word, Jay.
Even I got that fucking right. Come on. One word.
No.
I won't listen to him properly, so there you go.
No.
No, I don't think it is. And yeah, just simply because football's not just the Premier League for me anymore. Having been there and done it.
Fuck
so,
the Premier League.
It's been
Leeds
ages.
United will
It's been
always be
brilliant. I
never
scoffed at
fucking
you,
league
Luke,
win.
when you said we'll have a great season if we get relegated, and I was like, the only reason the Championship exists is to get promoted to the Premier League. There is no positive out of getting relegated, and I'm not going to sit and eat this hat, but I was completely fucking wrong because this season's been it.
I was saying,
I want-
Gilly, I said
I want to get promoted, but for the wrong reasons. I want to get promoted because we want to have more money and spend better players.
We want
and
it
see
to
better
stabilise.
I don't
players.
want to go to Wembley and see us lose. You know,
No,
there's
exactly.
none of that.
Exactly.
But it's not
Oh.
imperative.
No.
Not
It's not
again.
imperative because the world doesn't end if we don't get promoted. There's not going to be a fire sale. You know,
Next
PSR 's
season it
not
will
an
be.
issue.
I think
Granted,
next season it's
we'll
imperative.
be in difficulties if we don't get promoted next season. But the question was about this season.
It's
and
not one
just
word, Mark. You're right, but I'm the host, so I do what the fuck I like around the show.
That's
but
right. If you are host, you can say what the fuck you want.
Let's
You
go
can.
down to Wembley with a positive PMA, positive mental attitude, and hopefully
What are we doing here?
we can win a
It's not
few.
me.
And win a few. We just need to win the one. And yeah, be safe, enjoy yourselves, and I won't forget my parachute, Dan. Yeah, that's right. For when we do win, and I can get on the pitch.
Hey.
You have to get on that.
What?
Oh, what's going on?
Is that parachute bit he's on about? Is that James Bond for the Olympics? Is that
No,
That was
just
Wembley,
to
wasn't it?
That's what he was
get
on
down
about,
onto
yeah.
the pitch if we do win.
You have to get
Right.
on like that thing that the drone goes on them cables, like a zip line with your belt.
I don't
And
think
on
that's
that
a
note,
drone,
style,
that's
man.
Have a great weekend. Just kidding. Nah, we haven't really. See you all later. Have a good one. Enjoy your weekends.
Bye-bye.
I'm just kidding again.
Oh my god.